Hello, chat. Welcome in, everyone. Hello, Twitch. Hello, Trovo. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Kick. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy to see all of you. Happy to see you, Zeeks. Happy to see you, Will. Happy Friday to y'all. Happy Diner Classics Week. Happy my kitchen is still a mess. I apologize. Wow. How we all doing? I think I've got almost all of my shopping for the week, or at least until Tuesday, done, which is unusual for me. Usually there's at least one more trip in there. Apologize, I can't see chat right now. Barbecue sauce on their meatloaf or tavern style gravy? I'm doing a combination of fresh tomato and mushroom with a savory gravy. I'm actually thinking like Worcestershire and Vegemite territory. Oh, ketchup definitely on the meatloaf itself. But as for the sauce for the plate, or the gravy for the plate. Hey, Space. Alright. We have coffee ground. Did I grind more coffee? Yes. Oh, I don't go through nearly that much. I used to use a little bit of it at a time. But I also don't put it on like a lot of people that like on their steaks and stuff just straight up. I don't know. Treat it like an A1 sauce or something, which isn't too far off from. Speaking of that, I should get a bottle of A1. It's been a long time since I've had an A1 or one of those other type of sauces. Just to see what they're like. I don't even remember the full flavor profile. Now I remember it being much more almost vinegar, like a cross between having like the pulp tomato in like a vinegar base and then more peppery than that. Why do I weigh out my coffee? That way I mostly rely on the grinder for my coffee. I'm not sitting there making sure I have the exact amount of grinds in here. It's more, I'm doing the weight for how much water to how much coffee. And unless you know what those numbers are, you can greatly influence the final flavor of your coffee by brewing it properly, improperly, having water like mine, which is horrible for making coffee. Things like that. Quiet down, kettle. So one of these is going to be going into the meatloaf itself. The other one's going to be going into the sauce. Oh, I'm pointing at tomatoes that chat can't see. But I got a couple winter aromas. Also prepping my pot roast for tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, but Sunday. We have hot roast that I am going to start sous videing tomorrow. Yes, it is a chuck pot roast. And by pot roast, I mean sous vide pot roast. Hi, Wizzy. Oh, did you think my beef was an oyster? Or did you mean these oysters? Because these aren't... I mean, wow, that is one nice big clump. Those aren't particularly large oysters. Thank you, Blinko. I'm doing a tomato mushroom gravy. Or savory tomato mushroom gravy. But I'm putting traditional ketchup on top of meatloaf. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Happy Friday to you. Cheers. Yeah, none of the TV stuff is real. Even the better TV stuff isn't real. We've gone over this a couple of times here. The, things like, even in, not MasterChef, but, what was the big one that, now I can't remember the names of them, but anyways, none of them are real. Well, Hell's Kitchen was, like, practically scripted. judges are tasting cold food. Or in the one that I'm trying to think of, Iron Chef. Thank you for the goodies.
Cheer 100, cheer 100, cheer 100, cheer 100, cheer 100.
Blinko, can I get your suggestion on which spice mix I should make in January? We've got lemon pepper, herbs and garlic, chicken stock, ranch or Creole seasoning. Lemon pepper. But in the case of Iron Chef, they, at least in the US version, they didn't necessarily know the exact ingredient they were going to have to work with that day, but what they had previously known was of several ingredients that it could be, and they submitted menus so that they could have the ingredients available for them for those menus. And so it was like, there was a little bit of a surprise on what they were making, but they already knew what they were making once it was revealed. Okay, where am I starting with stuff tonight? I guess I should be starting with pot roast and getting that ready to go. Generally speaking, you got enough time that it's not that big of a problem, but yeah, it's not a proper way to judge anyone. I would say Top Chef was probably the closest to being an actual competition that I've seen in years, but even that is not... That's far from it, too. Far from it. And on top of it, that whole show, I'm throwing this back into the refrigerator just like this with the salt on it. And allow that to dry out overnight. I was going to throw it in the bag. I decided open air was going to be a better option. My major gripe with Top Chef, though, was constant product placement. And, like, they knew they were selling the dishes. And so they gave, like, next to no airtime to the actual finished dishes. Hi, Climber. So that is set. That was rather simple. That's what I keep reaching for. I need a towel. Okay, plan of action decided on. We'll start prepping veggies. This is going to be tomato going into my meatloaf itself. I've never been a big fan of cherry tomatoes myself. Been a minute since I used this pan. Some stuff is falling in here. And I might as well just give this a rinse out. The vast majority of raw tomatoes I eat are junk. Especially this time of year. It's the one in 100 that's, you know, a tomato sauce in itself that is absolutely amazing. Save half of that onion for our onion rings later, since we only need a couple of them. This is fine. I didn't even know that I had triggered that the first time. I agree. I think I had them as an A on my veggie tier list. Don't normally cut onions this way. I'm cutting them longwise for the onions and rings on the other half here. Okay, this top layer is just too paper leathery. We got some fun foods coming up here. I was actually unsure which to choose. I went with country fried steak for Tuesday, but it equally could have been a croque madame. Said someone who's never had caramelized onion soup. Nope. Part of me wishes I could still be in that universe. Part of me realizes that universe is not doing very good right now. LA just lost a major bakery in the beginning of the year. Restaurants just closing left and right. It's not just fast food, but delivery and so many other things. But it mostly boils down to me to real estate, labor costs, and what people expect to pay for food. They just don't, the math doesn't make sense anymore. The general math that I was taught in several places was that your real estate costs, your equipment, all that sort of stuff, all wrapped into one, is about 10% of your sales. So with the rents or real estate prices that they are now, just that alone, much less people wanting to get properly paid, which is respectable. It's probably the number one reason that I'm not in a business right now is I had an amazing guy work for me for 2-3 years, and I couldn't afford to give him any form of a raise. Oh yeah, it's always been a 1% profit, 20 years to pay off your initial investment operation. That alone is like craziness today. You're going to start a business and expect to have to operate for 20 years? Did I powder the onions? Nope. Just chopping them up. Going for the stems right now primarily, which are going to go into the actual meatloaf versus, for lack of a better term, the florets or the tops or the flaring parts to the mushrooms I am putting into the sauce or gravy. I'm guessing the new restaurants that they have opened are dramatically different than the old ones that they ran. I'm guessing a lot easier to go items too. There's a place near where I was growing up. I forget the name of it or what the actual concept was anymore, but basically you grab a bowl with a whole bunch of meats and veggies. You could basically pick whatever you wanted from like a giant, like, it was essentially like a buffet, but it was all raw foods. You put them in the bowl and you take them over them and they cook it. I imagine that would probably do amazing as long as they came up with their favorite bowls from everyone that regularly came in and purchased. I am going to peel some of this celery since it is not the nicest on the outside. Not the nicest. Peeling off the stuck on and bit parts the outside ribs of this celery. Captions making me sound like I'm a hater. that what's going on? I'm neutral celery. Actually, I need to go back and I'm neutral celery. This celery that I have right now is the flavorless supermarket celery. It's not as bad as some of the other ones that you can get from the supermarkets. But this is one of those areas, like salad greens, where farmers markets just truly, like, the flavor you get from freshly, properly done celery versus cheapest water they can find, massive farm celery. Big difference. I think people mostly look at celery and want something green and crunchy that's mostly flavorless in their potato salad. I think everyone can see it. If you're interested, Wizzy, or Blinko, sorry. If you're interested in the tier list I did previously, I think it's in the Discord. Should be under the archives folder. I think everyone can see the archive stuff. I think I have the permissions set up so everyone can see that. Big difference. Leeks are like grassy onions. Celery, like, you get some good, properly grown celery that doesn't taste like dirty water, and it's quite different. It's almost... I don't even know how to properly explain it. It's celery. But leeks are... I love leeks. I wish I would use them more often, but they're pretty large for most projects. So it doesn't work out that I buy them very often. I used to buy them all the time for making stock. They're amazing for... Just love the flavor of them. Just very mild, onion-like. Yeah, and there's actually celeries. I used to grow what's called a cutting celery. And they grow those and they sell those for... You can use the leaves in celery for all sorts of things. They're amazing. I used to mince those up and put them into things like my coleslaw dressings and stuff like that. But cutting celery, the real reason that they make cutting celery is not just for cutting it for salads and for its greens, but they use it as an infusion. So it's got very potent flavor, but you wouldn't want to chew it or eat it. It'd be amazing for a stock or a soup. Make sure we're actually live everywhere. Last stream I forgot or I clicked the button, I guess it didn't work, or I don't know what happened, but I didn't stream everywhere last stream. Last stream was just Twitch. I uploaded it to YouTube now, though. Yep, bot is listening. Maybe going a bit heavy on the celery tonight. Oh well. Chat's like, this is Meatloaf? Nothing but veggies on the cutting board. Is that a dad joke about pizzas being round? Have a great one, Wizzy. Beef and pork with a tomato top, all sorts of veggies in there. Nah, that's like Inception garlic. No, thank you. No, I'm gonna eat it raw. You guys don't eat your meatloaf like tartar? Truth is, I'm going to cook most of it before I cook all of it together. Because I want to add a whole bunch of veggies in there, but I don't want to add all the moisture from all of these veggies into the meatloaf. It'd be falling apart otherwise. But according to Wikipedia, American meatloaf is actually a play on Dutch meatloaf, or Dutch meatballs. I can smell that pan smoking behind me. Need some oil in that pan though. Zoom right. Hot pan. Zoom right. Bit of salt. Perfectly uniform cut on those onions. Perfect. It's always the cheese ones that get chat. You actually usually get the pasta once. Thank you for the follow. Adding our oyster mushrooms and tomatoes into the pan with all of our other mirepoix and onion and garlic. Continue cooking this down. And what I'm doing is mostly just pulling as much moisture out of this as I can before mixing it in with the meat for our meatloaf. And of course, softening them all up. Do I still have that? Oh, that's what I'll use. The one that's been baking in the oven for ages. I think that's cured. Puckle pork. Thank you, Blinko. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And can I get your input on the spice project? What I do here on this channel is every month I have a new project. This month is going to be making my own spice blend. I have a dehydrator back there that I greatly enjoy, but rarely use. And so I'm gonna make a spice there. But chat gets to choose the subscribers and supporters of the stream. So Blinko, can I get your input on which one of the seasonings I should make here later on this month? We're choosing between garlicky lemon pepper, Italian mixed herbs and garlic, chicken stock, ranch seasoning, or Creole. Not Cajun, Creole. Garlic lemon pepper or garlic Italian herbs? Actually, there's probably going to be garlic in the Creole too, but... And the ranch. The garlic's in just about everything. But I'm going to take that as garlicky lemon pepper unless you contradict that. Nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, got some meat. And over on the stove, we got some veggies. We're waiting on these to steam out and cook down. What I can get going here is in a separate... let's use a bowl. Are you Fussman? Welcome in. Still trying to make that one out. It's warmer than I expected that. Little tomato paste. That it is. That it is, Penelope. You can do that further ahead. Ugh. Dad joke. Over on the cutting board. This is just my initial mix-up here. Breaking down the clumps of meat into something a bit more mixable. Alright, now for seasoning, add in some pepper. My shoulder and neck have been all out of whack today. I don't know if I just slept on it wrong last night or what, but everything up there is all tightened up and it's been an aspirin day. Nope, don't need those. We can do a little thyme. So we got pepper, MSG, dried oregano, dried thyme. I think I'm going to leave it there with that. And I'm going to add one egg. One egg. Which, by the way, chat, I almost didn't buy bread or eggs until I remembered that I didn't have eggs. Or rather, I walked out of the store without bread or eggs and almost went home until I remembered it was not bread that I was forgetting, but bread and eggs. Have I made that simple explanation complicated enough for you, or should I go for a third time? We haven't even gotten into like veggie parts of dinner. Like I'm doing meatloaf. I'm doing mashed potatoes today. I'm doing broccolini or broccoli rabe or rapini, depending on what specific variety this is. Alright, last thing I'm adding in here is salt. I didn't want to draw moisture out of the meat prematurely. Awesome. Need that for the beer battle later, but overlook scene. Okay, we're all mixed together there. We're getting to the point where it's starting to be sort of smeary with the meat, which is where we want that. You also want to be careful with what pan you're using with this, because with the tomato, if you're using like a fair number of these, and the fair number that I have, if you saw the ones that I pulled out earlier from the cabinet below, a fair number of the ones that I have are just galvanized, which not great. I mean, perfectly fine for bread, not necessarily great for meatloaf with tomatoes and ketchup over the top, especially if you're going to leave it there for a day or two. So keep that in mind before you just grab your loaf pan without considering it. So this is going to actually shrink, not grow. So I'm not worried about that being absolutely filled up. If you're looking here on angle scene, you can see we got a nice full container here. Overlook scene. And then I'm going to wait on my initial ketchup. I'm going to get this in the oven. I'm going to get it cooking. I'm going to hopefully get somewhat of a crust going on top. Don't trust me on that. That's maybe. That's hopeful. And then we start in with the ketchup. Oven's at 400, or set to 400. It's at 350 right now. Yeah, you can do it that way too. Or you can start it in a pan like this, get nice crisp edges to it, and flip it, and then coat it and do it all. I'm not going to spend all that time on mine tonight though. But if you're doing it for restaurant, big party, something along that line, you can certainly do that, put that work into it. Ooh, if only there was only one O. Blinko. Do like me some Fritos, though. Alright, oven at 400. This is going in at least for its initial bake before we start adding toppings. Quick cleanup on the meatloaf bowl. So I'm going to use this to make my batter for my onion rings. I love onion rings until I get to about the third onion ring. Like, fried onion rings, for like, definitely the first one, maybe even the second one, are quite possibly one of the most perfect foods. And then they get greasy. Chat, do you call it sofrito or do you call it mirepoix? Or what is your distinction between the two? I'm not following that one, Zeeks. Dope. Do you include tomato in your thought of what a sofrito is? I've had people tell me all sorts of things were sofrito. This is why I'm asking this. And I'm not sure what did it, but something hugely popularized the name since I was in college. Because I never heard it talked about the way I do these days. Hi, Penguin. Well, I've always thought of sofrito as a Italian thing too, or Italian term. I don't even know its origins, Chad. I'm no clue what we're talking about in reality here. No one likes those papery layers to the onions. At least I don't think anyone does. We have any lovers of the papery? Well, etouffee is also French, so the word, not necessarily the dish, as I always like. Everything's stolen from someone else. We've been making food for too many centuries. Okay, there's our onions for our onion rings. I'm looking at the ratio here that I need for this. supermarket making excuses saying they can't find eggs. Is that a double yolk? No, that's just a broke yolk. Appreciate that, Penguin. Oh, are they selling that by can now? Was that here I was hearing someone talk? Or was I reading that on Reddit where they were losing exclusivity? Onion powder, garlic powder, cayenne, not being shy with the cayenne, cumin, chili, it's a type of squash. The yellow ones with the crook neck to them. Paprika. Dried oregano. You're cool, Penguin. Dried thyme. And dried mustard. So this is the basis to our batter. We're gonna need some salt and other stuff in there, right? MSG. As I was saying earlier, Penguin, I've not been in the greatest mood today. I have not been feeling well. My neck and shoulders are all tightened up and yep, Napoli, we love MSG here. Actually, we've got an MSG emote here. MSG love emote. Nice, Zeeks. Most of it comes from seaweed, yeah. The stuff that I'm using is extracted from seaweed. Hi, Buns. I didn't say hello to you yet. How are you today? Well, not that great, apparently. Well, feel better. That's an order. Is it corn these days? It wasn't originally. It would not shock me if it's derived from corn these days. Everything is derived from corn. They can turn that cornstarch into anything they want, apparently. Alright, so there is our batter for our onion rings when that comes around. Arguably too thin. We'll see as that flour hydrates and soaks up a little bit of that liquid if it's still that thin. Might throw a touch more flour in there. Going back through these mushrooms with just one more rough chop on them. I want them slightly smaller for the sauce. Cheesy grits. Again, cooking this tomato down into a pulp for sauce. So, cutting this one up pretty fine too. Oh, there's plenty of good stuff that comes from corn. We just make way too much stuff from corn. Which, I think it's more to do with our government being outdated than anything else when it comes to food and health policy. We're still stuck in World War II. Or at least with the effects of it. But hey, look at me ramble on about food politics. That's not why you're here. You're here to see diner food. Yeah, truly a diner food. This gravy would be a powdered mushroom gravy. There wouldn't be any real tomato involved at all. Are they all the way up in the Midwest? If they are, they're only in the south of the Midwest. They're primarily a southern chain. Southwestern. Like, I can't even feel like I can put my neck all the way back. No, Waffle House is where the cooks catch the chairs and throw them back. Let's take a look at our meatloaf here and see what we've got so far. I've dropped the temp down to 350 now after doing an initial 400 shock. Give that another 10 minutes. Well, to be honest, chat, where I went to was from my education. Because almost right across the street, it's a couple of blocks away, in New York, in Hyde Park, right near the Culinary Institute of America, is Ever Ready Diner. And they have a ginormous menu. And they're an incredibly large, old-school, retro 50s styled diner that was absolutely the drunken recovery spot for any Culinary Institute student. There was actually students who did their externship at that restaurant. But just an incredibly, like, if you look up their website, their menu is incredibly huge. Follow me, camera. That turned one on and the other off. And I don't know what, I mean, it's been, you know, something on the order of 2 decades since I've been in Hyde Park. But, yeah, it was quite an impressive restaurant for even that time. Early 2000s. Waffle House is in that style, but it's also definitely not. Like, it's definitely Waffle House. It's sort of like a cross, yeah. I sort of put Waffle House with Denny's in that they're diners, but they're also some commercial version that isn't a diner at the same time. Oil. That's what I'm working on. Oil. 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 Shoney's is a name that I have not heard in ages. Here's one for you, chat. Is Friendly's a diner? I didn't know that they were still existing, but I googled them and they're still around. They don't use the word diner themselves. Yeah, I don't really remember Shoney's other than the name. I don't even remember what they were. Were they like a Ponderosa Bonanza, cheap steak and a buffet type place? Ryan's Steakhouse type place? Trying to remember other names for that type of a restaurant. Of course, all these are probably all different depending on what region we're all in, too, because regardless of them being the same, they're not like they're McDonald's. It's not like their menus are the same. Alright, over in the other pan, over on the stove. Over on the stove. Our pan that we did all of our veggie cooking in, I put the heat back on. It's got a bunch of loveliness stuck to the bottom. We're going to add some oil to that. Just a touch, though. And a cup of water. Welcome, Justice. So I'm going to start building my gravy over here. Oh, I guess I could have used the beer in this too. Why not? Why not use the beer? Come on, open. A little better than bouillon. A little Worcestershire. A little Vegemite. You'd be surprised how similar better than bouillon beef and Vegemite taste. Taste them right after each other. Like, Vegemite definitely doesn't have the beef flavor there, but everything else. Yeah, Chad, have I told you you're amazing lately? Thank you for being you, Chat. And that's our meatloaf timer. All right. I think we're ready for our first ketchup application here. Show chat what we got going so far. In this home, I have my grill top / flat top. I have my 3 here. I have this bad boy, which has matching lid. I don't know if this counts as 1 or 2. Six, 7, somewhere in there. I have another one that's not in the home. Buns giving us a raid. Overlook view. Overlook view. Welcome, Toast. Thank you, Buns. Doing the dinner command there. Listing everything out so I don't have to repeat it. I am currently smearing some ketchup over the top of my meatloaf here. And carefully using my offset spatula to make sure it's all nicely and evenly coated. And that's going back into the oven now. Thank you for the follow. We'll give that at least another 20 minutes. Come back over here. We'll move the tomatoes out of the way. Onions and all that stuff. We get our tomatoes, or potatoes, boiling. Chopped and boiling. Upset spatula. Offset. Offset, not upset. Offset. Darn captions think I hate everyone. First it was trying to call me a racist. Now it's thinking I'm making my utensils upset. Taters, that's what I'm doing. Taters. Potaters. Hello, potaters. In your cute little yellow bag. Those are all small enough that I'm not going to cut them. I'm just going to boil them. So a little prep on our broccoli and our herbage for later. And I'm going to strip the smaller leaves off of these, or the flat leaves off of these. I didn't do that the other night and I didn't enjoy them, so I'm doing that tonight. The small leaves, they just cook too quick, they char, they don't cook evenly with the rest of it. Hang out with me long enough here on stream and you'll be able to. And there's no rocket science here. Most of it I've learned by trying it and doing my own. I mean, I've had plenty of education, but I don't learn much unless I do it firsthand. I gotta do things myself to retain them. Oil. Doing these essentially the same way other than pulling the leaves off that I did the other night. Gotta start somewhere. Once dated a girl that claimed she could burn water. Red pepper flake. Black pepper. MSG. Salt. And toss. Get everything coated using the pan. Mop it all up. Use the tops in there. Skill of burning water. She was meaning that she just scorched a pan. She'd put a pan with water in it and cooked it until it evaporated and turned color, because when you evaporate water, it's not just water. There's usually a little bit of impurity in there. And so it makes you color your pan, especially if it's like hard water or something. Lemon juice would be awesome here. Vinegar would be awesome here. Actually, speaking of that, let's do a little malt vinegar. Just to be a little different. Hot sauce would be good there if you're a hothead. I've already got the red pepper flakes. So you're already going to have some heat here to go with that bitterness of the green. Toast. Yep. I had a college classmate. My college classmates did a whole bunch of, like, dares for, like, no good justifiable reason other than just... It actually wasn't my block. It was my class, but it wasn't my block, if you know CIA terminology. Or wait a minute. It was my block, it wasn't my class. Regardless, they used to do a bunch of silly dares, like eat the eyeball off of a fish and stuff like that. But one of them did a month of eating nothing but ramen and toppings that he could put on the ramen for a month. For a case of beer. Well, think about it. His skin color actually changed. Like, he was not doing well by the end of that month. And that's even with, I think he was putting eggs with it. No Cosmic. Welcome in, by the way. It was just... I think it was Bud Light. It was, you know, it wasn't like the cheapest stuff, but it wasn't expensive by any means either. Like, by the time at the end of AOS, basically everyone was drinking Busch in my block. But I don't know if that was long enough into the school where everyone had coalesced over drinking Busch as their choice of bad beer. We're in holding pattern if you haven't caught on here, chat. We're hanging out waiting for our meatloaf to cook a bit more. Jameson, that's not a great combo. I don't get those, like... Yeah. There's been colleges that have banned those combos before. Like, there's colleges that I believe have banned Red Bull and vodka and stuff like that from their local bars. It's an upper and a downer at the same time, man. It's... Leftover Pizza Hut. What'd you get on your Pizza Hut? No, what we used to drink were, I think we called them blonde beavers. Bush beer with apple cider. Open up a can, take a couple sips, pour a little apple cider on top. Yeah, they're sitting there soaking up that oil. They're hanging out in their oil bath, looking sexy. That's what we can do while I'm waiting. I actually even pulled that out to do this, and I haven't done it. This parsley's going for a wash. I can feel the grit dirt on it. Matters where you buy stuff, chat. Like, I am certain that this parsley that I'm using right now is better quality than I would have gotten at the supermarket. But it's also dirtier. No, but they are at the same time. They're not the same thing, and they are certain different plants. But when it comes to your supermarket, they're probably going to label themselves the same. They're going to put them in the same spot. They're going to make it seem like they're the same thing. Most do these days. Like, I didn't buy this from Safeway, but I've bought either rapini or broccolini or baby broccoli, as I think this was labeled, at a Safeway or a big box grocery store. But then again, I live in the luxury of being in Sonoma County, California, and being, within easy distance of California Salad Bowl. We have it pretty good here as far as the availability of fresh goodies. Awesome, you want to cure mine too? While we're at it? I'm liking how that's looking, and it's going to go in there for longer. Okay, now I'm getting more wholeheartedly into this sauce. We're going to add our tomato and mushroom in there to start cooking them along with this. Poor hipster. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the sub.
Dollar message.
Penelope, can I get your input on what spice I should be doing here this month, later on? Garlicky lemon pepper, Italian herbs and garlic, chicken stock, ranch, or Creole? I do monthly projects here, and so anyone that contributes to stream, I ask their input. Garlic lemon pepper. Making a strong comeback. Italian herbs had the early lead. Creole and lemon pepper trying to fight back. All right, reduced our sauce down almost until it's dry once again from that cup of water and half a can of beer. So add our tomatoes in there. And our mushrooms. I'm glad you found me. I try my best to stream 4 nights a week. Plinko! Thank you for that gifty. Can I get your input on the vote as well? My bad. My apologies for... I was thinking that was Panoply, but thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you donating to the community. Add a bit of flour to our gravy. Zoom left. Flame way down on that. We want that to just stay warm. And in fact, I think I'm going to add a touch more water in there. Just enough that we're sort of coating the whole pan. I'll come back to this with butter to finish it up. That's going to continue to cook while we do some other stuff here. Let's get some butter going for our potatoes. That looks like a good amount of butter. 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 That looks like a good amount, right? I'm going to throw the broccolini into the oven for a short period. I'm going to finish them in a pan now. But just let them hang out here with the meatloaf for a little bit. Meatloaf looking sexy. Butter for our potatoes is ready. Yeah, I'm going to add a touch more flour to our batter here. That's a little too thin for me. Nope. More flour. How is this still this thin? How am I going to dehydrate some seasoning while keeping bacteria growth at bay? I intend to, if there's anything that needs cooking in that form, I intend to cook it down to, like the chicken stock. I'll give a best example of what I'm doing if I do the chicken stock. I'm going to take pre-made chicken stock and reduce that down to like a paste, and then coat more vegetables from the chicken stock variety of veggies, coat that in that paste, and dehydrate them all together to the point that I can put them into a blender, pulse them, and sift them. I unfortunately do not have a freeze dryer or freeze drying tool. There's actually one, I looked into this in the past actually, because I looked into the idea of creating my own popcorn slices. You can buy lab level dehydration stuff that will dehydrate stuff in powdered form. I just wasn't about to spend that kind of money. How we looking on temp here for our oil? Oh, hey, that would require the oil being on, huh? It's still pretty thin. I'm gonna give that even more flour. I want it to be at least somewhat ribbony, which we're starting to get there. Depends on how many roses, chocolate, and champagne. And is it real champagne? What type of champagne is it? Like $80 just for champagne alone can be a good deal. Bottle of Veuve can go for more than that easy. Roses or gas station roses? Yeah. Is it a dozen roses or is it a rose? Are we talking See's candy? Or are we talking Ghirardelli? Or are we talking, I don't know, really fancy chocolate? See how our potatoes are looking here. If they're quite ready or not. They're on the edge. They're on the edge. There's other songs that I think are closer, but this is very much Pink Panther-ish to me, as far as songs go. You know, it's a little sneaky little Roses and choice of color screams, we're just spraying them. Bottle of champagne, wine, or sparkling cider. Yeah, I would guess that is probably not going to be the greatest deal on earth. Just off the very basis that it's resort, hotel, something along that line. Sorry to my friends who work in the hotel industry, of which I have many at this point. Whether, I don't know if should consider the ones that work in Vegas hotel employees or not. They sort of are, sort of not. I would say that it's probably going to save you a lot of time and effort, but I doubt it's going to be like the nicest roses. I doubt it's going to be. I don't think it's like. I would think it would probably be more of an ease and speed thing and less hassle thing than nice roses, nice chocolate, and nice champagne for a deal. That too, Blinko. That too. Nice. Cheese. Cheese. I'm adding even more water into this gravy because we're still not there yet. And it's drying out. Someone saw I used my water glass for that. I'm gonna go grab some aspirin. I'll be right back, chat. Bathroom's nice and cold. It's like walking in the walk-in. Meatloaf. Hi, chat. Hi, Buns. Yep. All my handles are different in this kitchen. It's not my kitchen, though. Salt. Touch a half and half. So we're basically there with everything, chat. Now we just gotta fry our onions. Bitch. Add our onions to the batter. Break out the fancy tongs for getting them all coated. Just regular yellow onions. I'm not doing anything fancy or special for these tonight. That sizzle you hear is more from the broccolini up in back than the oil. Come on, let's go, onion. I can't wait. I want one. Nom 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 nom. Oil got a bit cool, so these are taking a moment. Dad joke. Oh, dad joke. Heat off on all of that lovely stuff. Throw some fine salt on those onion rings. Throw a bit of butter into our gravy. Zoom left. You can still hear the broccolini sizzling, but the pan is off. Melt butter, melt. Please stop shaking him. Please stop shaking. So bummed, chat. I've gotten into the Tribes 3 access, alpha access, throughout this entire process, but their whatever easy cheat they're using, system they're using, won't allow me to join any matches. Actually, I'm not 100% sold that it's easy cheat that's doing it to me. But so I've had alpha access to this game for several weekends now, and I can't play it. I played it the first beta weekend that I had access. First alpha weekend I had access. It's not alpha. Alpha development is not anything public. Arg. I don't have a flame. There we go. Heat up, gravy. We're almost there. We're almost there. So we have our meatloaf there. I was a little worried that was going to fall apart on me. Gravy over the top. Few onion rings to finish up here. There we go, chat. There is my dinner for tonight. You're gonna sit there? No. 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 Oh well. Yeah, he's a pretty good dude. Alright, folks. We're going to have more diner classics all in the next two streams here. We got pot roast sitting in the fridge. I'm going to put that in the immersion circulator tomorrow. So that'll be cooking for 24 hours for Sunday's stream. Have to do some other stuff in order to, you can't just pull it out of the sous vide and be like, hey, it's pot roast. So I hope you come back to join me for that. I enjoyed making dinner tonight. I think this is going to be absolutely delicious. That Meatloaf is looking mighty, mighty tender. Let's see here. I don't think I'm going to raid out tonight, though. So, I hope to see all your lovely faces back here on Sunday night for Sunday night pot roast dinner. And until then, I hope you have a lovely life. Good night.